welcome to all our viewers. I am Dr. Anu Vashish, Membership Director at Sinodent and your host for today's session. I'm hosting today's session with Parthvi Mishra. She is the UP State Camp Head and my co-host. I would like to thank Dr. Anmol Bagaria, the CEO and founder of Sinodent, for organizing such amazing learning session for everyone. Sinodent is a unique platform, first time in India, a digital healthcare platform that provides and enhances a good relationship between patients and doctors, enables a real-time appointment scheduling system. Our goal is to create a easy access to healthcare services and communication ways or appointment scheduling system, not only between dentists and patients, but also for the medical practitioners, diagnostic lab, to radiological services and pharmaceutical services. Sinodent is here to create precious and healthy smile on our patient face with minimum effort and maximum welfare. Now the patients, they don't have to fear of those long queues or busy dentists when they get toothache. So let me invite our esteemed speaker for today's session who will be enlightening us how to manage severe curves and retreatment cases. Dr. Kamal Bagda, he has done his masters from Government Dental College and Hospital, Gujarat. He is presently the head of Department of Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics at Narsinbhai Patel Dental College and Hospital, Gujarat. He is the advisor in Gujarat Public Services Commission in subject of conservative dentistry, endodontics and dental materials. He is also Dental Council member, Dental Council of Gujarat State. He is the ex-president of IDA Gujarat from 2018 to 19, past vice president Gujarat State branch from 2011 to 16, and presently he is the Central Council representative at IDA and a co-convener at GACD Gujarat and Association of Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics. I would like to welcome you, sir, for today's session. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning, each and every for the invitation. She rang me up and said that we want to have a lecture on this. So recently we had a big seminar and a webinar series regarding the endo. Recently also we had also completed the IFA webinar series. A lot of lectures and right? So this is a company that is Sinodent. She is the CEO of Sinodent. Once again, I thank Dr. Anmol and I also thank my co-host and host, Dr. Anu Vashish and Dr. Parthvi Mishra. So thank you all of you. So today we'll be learning what is the different types of curvatures, what are the types of curvatures, how to manage it, what are the precautions to be taken. It is a very vast subject. It is not easy to complete in this one lecture, right? But I will give you a little bit of insight of what are the complications related with the curves and how to negotiate it. Looking at this diagram, you can see that all the tooth or all the root canals are never straight. Even you take a central incisor or lateral incisor, there are little bit of curvatures either on the buccal surface or lingual surface. They are not straight. And in the apical area where the curvatures are most in molars or maxillary molar, mandibular molar, the mesial roots, the curvatures are mostly more than 20-degree curvatures. And that beyond the curvatures, the apical area where you need to reach up to the apex is very difficult to reach on that area because you see this apical area, there are a lot of ramifications, lot of apical zones, lot of portals of entry is always present in the apical area. So to reach up to that area, you need to have a good knowledge of the anatomy of the root canals, which is very, very important. If you don't have the anatomy related knowledge, then don't try to attempt in the curved canals, right? It will be a complications and it will lead to failures. So unfortunately, as I had stated, and because of this, all these unfortunately, curved canals, they will always create a problem to the clinician. What are the basic problems created to the clinicians? Very common. That is, including the ledge formation, the apical transportation, the zip formation, file separation, so on. So we will discuss how it causes and what are the different types of problem caused by the curved canals, how to avoid it, and how to take precautions, right? So before you start to go up to the curvatures, all the basic protocol that is related with the root canal treatment, that may be access opening, then irrigation, then lubrication, then recapitulation, everything should be followed and no violation of the apical terminus should be done. You can see this diagram, there are a lot of curvatures, it is more than 20-degree curvatures. You can see different types of tooth with different curvatures. This is a micro CT diagram of each and every tooth. So basically, it has been said that if you have an inadequate knowledge of the anatomy and the root canal, it will lead to improper or inadequate preparation of the root canal treatment. And ultimately, it will lead to a poor obturation and ultimately, lastly, it will be a treatment failure. So if you know the detailed knowledge of the root canal system, then it will ultimately, you will have a successful root canal treatment. There was a saying by Schilder regarding the patency. You can see this is the basic root canal and what the patency means, that Dr. Schilder has rightly said that you are uncomfortable doing this, but we are uncomfortable not doing this. If you don't enlarge the canal and not go to the apex and remove all the necrotic tissues and the microorganisms, it will be a failure of a root canal treatment. So looking at this diagram, you can see that middle mesial canal. You can see 3 canals in the mesial side and a large distal canal. You will be very happy to find that the middle mesial canal has been found. But when you go beyond the curvatures and you go on the apical area, there are a lot of different anatomical variations you can see. So you can see these are the different variations. You can see all the medial mesial canal merging into each other and going up to the mesial curve. The distal side, the 2 distal canals, they are also merging, and there is a secondary curve, that is the distal canal. There is a secondary curve on the distal root and the distal side of the tooth itself, which goes on the distal area. So when you see the occlusal part of it, or when you see an X-ray, but to reach up to the apex, it is very difficult. So an ideal knowledge of anatomy is very, very much required. So as we said that there are no straight root canals or straight tooth available, or it is in the oral cavity. So what do you mean by these curvatures? They are known as dilacerations. So in 1848, Toms has called these curvatures as dilacerations. Dilacerations, what do you mean by the dilation? It refers to an angulation or a band or a curve, the root or the crown of a form of a root to its roots. So wherever there is a angulation, that is a band, and where it forms, that is the curvature will be formed up that area. So how it is caused? There are causes of dilaceration. That is, the condition is thought due to the trauma during the period in which the tooth is forming. So whenever there is a trauma, there are chances that wherever the trauma occurs during the formation of the tooth surface or during the formation or the morphology of the tooth, that position, it becomes calcified and there is a curvatures which is bent. It may be more than 20 degree or it may be 10 degree, 15 degree, depending on the type of trauma it has occurred, right? So the remainder portion will form an angle, and that angle is known as a curvature. So what are the different types of classification of curvatures? There are a lot of classification because it confused, because various scientists and various demonstrator researchers had given different classification. The basic classification is according to the anatomic location. The anatomic location, that is the apical third curvature, which is in the apical area. Then middle third curvature, which is in the middle portion, and the coronal third, which is on the coronal part of it. The main classification was given by Schilder's classification, and after that, many of them had done the modification. So the Schilder's classification is, if it is a straight, then it is less than it is moderately curved, then most of the molars or the curves are more than 20-degree curvature. Right? Numi-Nagy classification, it was given by I shape that is straight, the J shape that is apical curve, C shape that is entire curve, and S shape it is a multi-curve. Radius-based curvature, this was given for the CBCT software. So severely curved, that is the radius or the curvature is less than 4 mm. The moderately curved it is 4 to 8 mm, and mild curvature it is more than 8 mm. So basically, what are the three curvatures which we are going to learn or we have to negotiate and we have to take precautions? It is acute curvature in the apical area, then and so on. So it is not what happens to you, but how to react to it, it matters. How it matters means when you start doing a root canal of a root curvatures, you know the anatomy, and you start doing a root canal, and when in the curvature part, you cause an complication. So how the complication are caused, you should know how to take the precautionary measures to avoid the complications. But when the complication occurs, don't be afraid. Try to resolve the matter slowly and calmly, right? Because complications are always to occur in a root or not in root canals, but any type of treatment. As basically, if you know the anatomy, we have seen this diagram, which is a very common diagram. This is the binding surface where that is the apical constriction where the catapercha or the master cone is been placed to bind the apical area. And this is the apex. There are a lot of different apex, clinical apex and radiographic apex. So this is your expectation that we have to reach up to this area. But the reality is this diagram given by Craig Barrington, you can see so many portal of entries and see the anatomy and variations in the apical area. You need to clean and negotiate all these areas up to the apical area, which is difficult to reach with the file system. So lot of related treatment that is related with the irrigation part, then the anatomical part, and the different system which you are using, all will play a role in this, because you don't have to bind this single canal in this area, because you have to go up to all this portal of entry go for a successful treatment. So as it is rightly said that all the difficult roads often leads to beautiful destinations. There are so many beautiful destinations which you reach have all these curvatures. You have to be careful while passing these curvatures. So what are the consequences? If you don't follow the curvature, if you don't follow the right path of the curvature, what will happen? There is excessive flaring, there will be ledging, there will be apical transportation, there will be apical perforation. So excessive flaring, you can see apical area, which will violate the apical terminus to do a obturation. Then ledge formation is maintaining the protocol of the sequential filing, which has been given by the company, that is smaller file to larger file. Then apical transportation, that is forcing the instrument in the apical area. That is, if you use a large instruments or an ITA instrument beyond the curve, it is very difficult to control it. So that will cause an apical transportation and apical perforation. If you force the instrument too much and you create it. So try to avoid all this. In between, there will be a zip, there will be a ledge, there the strip, elbow. So this is all correlated with, you can see this diagram, that this is the normal root canal up to this apical area. And what we had prepared is, this is the artificial canal, or the reverse architecture that has been prepared in this area. So this is what the apical transportation. So lot of foraminal breaks, zips and tears will cause, because large instruments or progressive stiffer instruments are used, and you will find a new canal which has been created and which is very, very difficult to do a obturation on this part, because you will not find an apical constituent matters which will hold this apical perforation or the transportations for the proper obturation. So this is a basic diagram from Pathways of Pulp by Dr. Cohen, 11th edition. You can see the radicular zip which is given in this area, that is apical area. A ledge formation which can occur from coronal to middle to apical, any area. And radicular perforation, that is apical perforations on this area. And ledge with perforation, that is even the ledge is also there and the perforation has also occurred in the apical area. So how to avoid all this? So there are different diagrams, different definitions given by different books, but American Association of Endodontologists define this, the ledge, as an artificial irregularity created on the surface of a root canal that impedes the placement of an instrument to the apex of an otherwise the patent canal. So the patent canal which has been created is not negotiated properly, and an artificial canal is created, that is known as a ledge. Same with the canal transportation, which the removal of the canal wall structure on the radicular half of the canal due to tendency of the file to restore themselves to their original linear shape. That is, an extra canal is prepared, and on the outside of the curve, which causes perforation, and there is a lot of profuse bleeding to diagnose how the canal transportation or the perforation has occurred. So how to avoid this? So all these causes of complications are there. So what are the basic causes of complications? There are many complications. There are many causes in etiology, and all these causes of complications are very small. But if you take precautionary measures, you can avoid all this. First thing, you can see the cavity preparation has been done, but the cavity is not extended properly. So what happens? You are not able to negotiate the extra canal or the canal which has been negotiated from the occlusal part, and you will not be able to take the instrument into the canal up to the apical area. So extension of the cavity is very much required. If you don't access the cavity in a proper way, there are maximum chances of complications to occur. The next diagram, you can see everyone has prepared this type of cavity in our college days, right? Because when you go for an indirect vision, always it occurs, because you will never do an indirect vision and you will look like this by bending your head to see the maxillary molar or maxillary cavities like this. So to avoid the direction, you have to be careful and take a sit in such a way that the loss of instrument control should not be there in attempting the proximal area, because we always check when from the proximal area, that is either class 3 cavity or class 5 cavity, don't try the instrument to put from the class 3 cavity. Always try to do a preparation, from the occlusal area. Try to avoid from the proximal area, because there will be always a loss of instrumentation on that area. So always try to control the instrumentations from the proximal area. Incorrect canal direction, that is, if the direction of the canal, because in the oral cavity, the tooth has been placed in such a way that either it will be either on the lingual surface or in the buccal surface, more buccally placed, mesially placed, distally placed. It depends. Clinically, you have to see and then judge that where the morphology, accordingly the direction of the canal will be located. Incorrect root canal length determination. That is, if you don't have the canal determination length properly, there will be a short obturation, or there are chances that there may be over obturation can be done if you have no proper root canal length determination. So always try to check the root canal length determination with a apex locator, and you have to combine the method with all the different methods of working length determination. Then only you will get an exact working length measure. Next, forcing the instrument into the canal, very common. because we try to use a file or a reamer, whatever the instruments. You don't take a larger instrument. Don't take a small instrument. We try to push the instruments in the apical area before negotiating the curve or negotiating the apex, and we force the instrument, which will cause a ledge on that area. So always try to avoid forcing the instrument inside the canal. Next is using a non-curved SS instrument. That is, whatever you are using, a reamer or a file, always try to pre-curve the instrument so that you can avoid a ledge formation or any complication related to the curvatures, right? So always try to pre-curve the instruments. There are a lot of different instruments available. Benders are available. You can have an RT forceps. You can have an other forceps available in the market to pre-curve the file, and then you can use it in the curvatures. No sequential order of instrumentation followed. What do you mean by that? That the instrumentations are not done properly. So the sequence of the instrument, if you use a larger instrument before the smaller instrument, always there are chances that there is a ledge formation or a zip formation, strip formation, anything can occur in the root canal itself. So always try to go with the sequential order of the instrumentation as the company has recommended. There are the different protocols given by ISO and different methods, different numericals, different numbers, and different color codes are given. So always go through with that color code which has been given by the company, and then you can do an instrumentation. Next is rotating the instrument. That is rotating any instrument at the working length, because the working length file or the initial file is not your initial instrument to do the preparation. That is to check the patency of the canal, the direction of the canal, the curvature of the canal. So always try not to rotate the file in the apical area. So because when you put the file or the first instruments in the apical area, and if you rotate it, it will violate the apical matrix and the apical foramen will be destructed. So always try to not rotate the file in the apical area. Inadequate irrigation and lubrication, because nowadays the chelating agents has been used so much that you try to remove more of the dentin. So always try to take precautions by using the lubrication and the irrigation. So always be careful, always do a rubber dam application, and then you do an irrigation with the EDTA with the lubricated materials. Lying the chelating agent, that is the use of chelating agents. Nowadays, because everyone uses more of the chelating agents, so you have to be careful when to use the chelating agents, how to use the chelating agents, because they will chelate the dentin. The reaction will be formed and maximum of the dentin will be removed. So always try, so if you are going in the curvatures, if you remove more of the secondary dentin, there are chances that perforations may occur. So always be careful by using the use of chelating agents. Attempt to retrieve separated instruments. You can see this diagram. If you want to remove this separated instruments, you will dig the canal. You will prepare a stack formation, then the strap is prepared. You will try to remove more of the dentin, and it will again lead to perforation, or it will lead to any complications related to root canals. So always be careful. Next is removing the root canal filling materials during the retreatment. So always try to remove the RC filling material with the protocol. There are various gut aperture solvents are available. You can use that. You can use the different systems of removing the gut aperture. Many different types of files has been available to remove the gut aperture. So try to remove the file and take precautions by removing the old root canal fillings from a root canal. Next is we try to push the file or reamer in this calcified canals. So always try to avoid it, because it will create a ledge formation. It will create an artificial canal. So with the combination of irrigating materials, chelating agents, you can negotiate the calcified root canal easily. Taking off the debris in the root canal in the radicular area. That is once you get the root canal length, that is the length of the has been detected. So don't try to do the preparation in the apical area and pack the debris, because once you pack the debris in the apical area, what will happen? There are chances that because of this debris will be accumulated in the apical area and you will lose the instrumentation, that is filling, and the preparation will be a short. It will not to be up to the apical area, that is the apical matrix, and there will be chances of failures. So it has been said this, the dentist should avoid all this link pad. If you avoid all this link, then there are chances that you will not go into this all this complication related to ledge, transportations, etc. And ultimately, you can have a successful negotiation of the curved canal, and you can have a good root canal obturation. But if you don't avoid all this thing, what will happen? You can see this diagram. Lot of canal has been prepared. These are not canals. These are all perforated sites and obturation, different obturating gutta-percha are coming from this artificial obturated canals. So always be careful in preparing the curvatures. This is a simple diagrammatic presentation of how to, will not go into the detail of it. I will just show you that there is a ledge formation. You can see in this area. This is the ledge formation. So explorer is long explorer is there, which has been designed to bypass the ledge. And anti-curvature filing is this ledge, break out the file or the probe area and negotiate the ledge, bypass this ledge on this area and go up to the apical area. If you go slam in this area, that is up to this, ultimately it will lead to an apical perforation or lateral perforation. So try to avoid this. So what are the different measures of curvature, measuring the curvatures, which has already been discussed in the basic different methods. So there are a lot of different methods. We'll be discussing one by one what are the different methods of measuring the curvatures. This is a method. It is just for a fun that if you want to see a red color by woman, that is scarlet, dark red, to see the different colors. But if you say a man, red means red, only one color, right? So there are different aspects, different for different types of curvatures. This determining the root canal curvatures, we had already. This method for simplicity method, which is given by 3D imaging system from Brazil. So this was the method for sericity. So basic method was given by Schindler. What is the Schindler's method? We will go through it. Schindler's method is very common. They had taken an intersection of this, taken a line drawn from this apical area to this, and this curvature was measured. This is known as Schindler's method. This curvature will give you the curvature of the root canal. Then Lutein's method was, which was modified by Schindler. And Lutein's method, it is totally different. The next method is of Cunningham and Shinia's method. This is for especially for S-shaped canal. And Wien's method, which was a modified Schindler's method. It is like this only, but the way of Shania, that is for multiple curvatures. What are multiple curvatures? That is, this is the curvature. This is the primary curvatures. That is, in primary curvatures, the degree is 30 degrees. And secondary curvature, it comes to 20 degrees. So there are a lot of curvatures in the major root. Either it may go on the buccal surface, it may go on the lingual surface. It goes from mesial to distal, distal to mesial. It depends on the type of curvatures. So these are the two basic methods. That is the Schindler's method, where you can see the line from coronal to the this area and apical to this area, and this curvature is measured. And this is the curvature which is measured. And the same by the Wien's method, the same thing, but the curvature was measured from the other aspects. So They do have the different methods. We'll not go into the details of this method. So what are all the three excess opening, basic excess opening which we do? They will always touch the curvatures. That is the first thing you can see, that always touch to the conal portion of the part of it. Then the straight line furcation, where the furcation areas, that is the middle portion, will be touching the curvatures, and the straight line radicular will always lead to the radicular areas. This is the minimal invasive. So the curvature will be from the coronal area. Then the furcation area, that is the middle portion, then the curvature is in the relation of it. And then beyond the curvature, that is to the middle portion, that is in the radius. What are the different methods for instrumentations with different curvatures? There are a lot of methods. First thing, if the curvature is 160 degree, that is always try to use the stainless steel files can be used in this area to negotiate the curve. If it is 140 to 160 degree, then consider the file or the rotary files which you are using, pre-curving the file first, negotiating it properly up to the apical area or the apical curvature, and then you can use a rotary instrumentation. That is also 4% taper, not 6% taper. Then 100 to 140, and rotary with the initial glide path. Then highly flexible files can be used. These are Tiger files where you can use in the tortuous canal. Then rotary with a straight radial line in the straight, and then hand files apically, because you cannot use the rotary in the apical area once if you had negotiated properly the curvatures. Next is, if the curvature is 90 to 100 degree, then NITA hand files with high Kali, NITA hand files can be used. And when it is 90 degree or less, no way, no files or not a system can be used. You can prepare the root canal with your system which is available, which we can negotiate properly and go up to the apex. And lastly, reverse filling, that is apexectomy, is to be carried out, because the 90 degree curvatures cannot be negotiated with a normal root canal or any type of file or any type of methods which has been given. So literally you have to go with a retrograde filling material after doing an apexectomy. That is, surgical endodontics comes into picture. So always look at this diagram, always try to pre-curve your file to prevent this type of transportation, because the anatomical landmarks are very difficult if you don't take properly, if you don't negotiate it. Transportation and this type of transportation can occur. So we will be discussing Nana curve, the S curve, and the merging canals. All four will be discussing how to manage with the clinical techniques. So first thing is clinical techniques managing the apical curvatures. So what is the apical curvature? Most commonly it is found in the mesial roots of curvatures in the molars. So first thing is gain axis, very common with the diamond burr, tapered burr, then the straight line axis. Which is the straight line axis? This is a round diagram. Flaring is in the apical area, that is in the floor of the chamber, which is very difficult. We will not be able to negotiate all the canals, because the orifice on this area and the isthmus will not be negotiated properly. So this is the right diagram where you can see that the shape opening with the conventional diagram should be done properly to involve each and every curvature, each and every canal orifice, because there are a lot of variations in the molars. So if you want to find extra canal, mesially, or the middle canal, you need to do a proper to allow the file and go up to the apical area without stress, right? So less stress to be formed. So number 8 or number 10, reamer, not a file, should be used up to the working length. Why you are using reamer? Because there are a lot of advantages using a reamer over the file. key reamer, that is highest efficiency of pulp transportation from inside the canal, loosely twisted spiral, so will not damage the root canal. 3 cutting edge, low cutting efficiency as compared to 5, low elasticity, a good color pulp transportation, and angle tip is 60 degree. So all this thing is available in a reamer. So if you use a reamer, there are less chances of complication. Or you can use an S finder, which is available in the market with different length, 18 mm. It is the size of 10 and 21 mm is also available. And mostly it is recommended for slim and curved canals. This is the instrument, that is the S trainer. There are also D finders available from Money Company. So many other companies have suggested initial instrumentation. This is the same instrument which can be used in a rotary, which are known as the path files, right? So negotiate the files and go up to the apical area. So what are the basic importance for the using of these reamers? First thing is the patency of the instruments, that the patency of the canal can be checked properly with a reamer. You can determine the working length properly without disturbing the apical area, that is the apical matrix. You can achieve the initial glide path. You can make the impression of the canal properly, because once you put a reamer inside the canal and when you remove the reamer, you will find the anatomical curvature of the root canal when you remove the reamer. But if you put a file and remove the file, you will not get the exact curvature which has been replicated in the anatomy. So because of the instrument itself. So always try to mark the rubber stop on the buccal or the lingual side of the handle. So when you put the instrument inside the root canal, you will be able to know, when you remove it, you will be able to know that curvature is either on the lingual side or it is on the buccal sides. Once you confirm it that is in the buccal or lingual, it becomes easy to negotiate and prepare. The preparation of the canal becomes easy. So the reamers, when you remove the reamer from the canal itself, it is very important that it mirrors the degree, the type of the canal, the location of the canal, and the direction of the canal can be seen properly when you remove the reamers. Because of it, flexibility on the K file. So less chances of apical transportation or zipping, which is very, very helpful to avoid the complications in the curved canals. So always try to use this. So avoid using stainless steel reamer more than 10 number. Why? Because as you go, the number increases, the stiffness of the instrument increases. And because of that, it will cause a complication. So after using that apical area, getting it, try to prepare a orifice shaper with a crown down fashion, go up to the curve, not beyond the curve. Then negotiate up to the curve with the NITA instruments, with the hand instruments, no instruments to be used, and then try to prepare a glide path. If a glide path is prepared properly, you will be able to go up to the apical area. So once the patency is achieved, glide path is achieved, try to go in a crown down fashion and prepare a glide path, which will lead to a super glide path. You can use a 2% tapered rotary. NITA files are available in the market. So many companies are having. Endostar is having. Then 3M is having. All it can be used with the same protocol of the hand files which you are using. That is white, red, white, yellow, red, blue, green, black. The same taper, the 2% you can use it. That is 15, 20, 25 up to the apical length. So it gives an initial glide path and super glide path. And after that, glide path is achieved up to the apical area with the working length, then you can use a 4% tapered instrument. Then you can use whatever the size you can use. Either you can use with 425, you can use 430, 435, depending on the size of the canal. That is the curvature or the size of the canal. So, but always be careful that 6% rotary file should not be used beyond the sharp curve or beyond the curvatures, because it will cause separation of the file and ultimately it will lead to the instrument. So always be careful in the apical area. That was the apical curvatures. Clinical technique for managing banana canals. What do you mean by banana canals? Always available in the mesial roots or distal root. The same thing, obtain a straight line curvatures, make an impression as a mid-root banana file. It is more gradual in the apical area. So this is the curvatures which is shown as a banana. This is the curvature, and most because of ledge formation or perforation in this area, because we are not able to recover the file, not able to negotiate up to this area and go up to this apical area. So always try to negotiate it properly. The same scenario which you have to do, that is with the shapers, should not be done, not be involved properly. Glide path achieved the crown down with 4%. Mid-root curve should be negotiated. And lastly, you can go up to the apical area. The next technique for managing a S-shape, the most difficult part to manage. What is S-shaped canals? Mostly find in premolars. Premolars very common. That is first premolar or second premolars. It's always difficult to negotiate because these are the most challenging curves in the maxillary area. So, sorry. Because premolars in this area, we have to go with the first curve and the second. Both the curvature has to be negotiated properly. So it comes apical or the mid-root banana curves. So always try to negotiate it properly because the file or the instrument which you are using should be thoroughly going up to the apex, passing both the canals or both the curvatures. Sorry. So make a straight away from the first curvatures. How to prepare it? Take an initial reamer or file, pass the file, calculate the measurement that creates a glide path. You can use a 2% rotary file in a crown of fashion. That is a step back technique. Crown of fashion, that is a step back technique. In a step back technique, you can use 2% rotary with 15, 215, 220, 225. So it will prepare a straight line axis with merging both the curvatures, and you can go up to the apical area. So in a crown down fashion, up to 35. Then when I crown down the same file, that you can use a 2% file in a crown down fashion. That is crown down technique with 35 in a reverse way up to sorry, up to 15. So that will go up to the apical area and you will pass both the curvatures. And now crown down with 4% rotary instrument can be done up to the apical area. That is 4% rotary you can use up to 420, 425 depending on the size of the canal. It requires more number of files because there are maximum chances you will be using smaller number of files before you use this 2% taper to 15, 20, 25. The initial manual filing can be done from 6, 8 and 10 number. So you will require more number of files and then you can do the negotiation of the S-shaped canals. Merge canal, very common canal where distally or mesially the canal are merging. So during the merge canal, always one of the canal will go up to the apical area. The second will be merging near to the apex or short of the apex. It depends on the anatomical or the morphology of the tooth. So mostly found in mesial roots of first and second molars. Achieve the patency, glide path, make an impression with 8 and 10 number reamer, very common. Create a straight line, excess opening, glide path, a straight glide path, super glide path, and then make an impression, crown down in working length in the stator. That is crown down technique up to the two canals, that is where the straight canal is there, where it goes up to the apex. And then you prepare that canal properly. Then the second canal which is to be prepared is the canal which is merging either near to the apex or up because it may bind or it may separate. So wherever the merging part of the movement of the stiffer instrument, because there are chances that the curvatures which is merging to the normal canal are chances getting the separation of the file or complications can occur. So these were all the how to maintain or how to reach up to the curve or reach to the negotiation of the curvatures. So in that all cases, what you have to take into consideration, that is the danger zone. You can see which is the danger zone. This is this part of the furcation area, which is the danger zone. The mesial roots of mandibular first molar, approximately 2 mm below the furcation, are particularly subject to strip perforation. So whenever you do the instrumentations in the mesial roots, try to do the instrumentations away from the furcation area, which is very, very important. Either it is a straight curve, normal curve has more than 20-degree curvatures, or the curvature is either from buccal or lingual, but don't try to do the filing or instrumentations towards the furcation. Try to avoid, because the thickness of dentin is limited in this area. So you will have a chances that strip perforation may occur in the area of the furcation area, and ultimately it will lead to a complication and the failure of a root canal. So always try to avoid this danger zone. So what are the different various techniques used to manage the curved canals? There are so many different techniques. What are the different techniques? Decreasing or restoring the force by means using a straight file, that is the curvatures. Because if you use a larger instruments and the file is binding on the apical area, it will cause a force. With that force will lead to apical destruction of the matrix. Which is aggressively cutting. So the file have an active cutting length, right? So you can decrease the tip of it, have a passive cutting on the apical area. So how it can be done? Which is achieved on the, there are different benders. You can break out the file. If you break out the file properly, what will happen? It break out the file, it goes in the curvature, it has a less stress in the curvatures, and it will not bind, or it will not force in the canal, and it will have a less stress on that area. Use of smaller number of files as they can follow the canal curvature. That is, always start from the smaller number of files, that is 6, 8, 10, then 15, 20, whatever it be. Don't directly jump up to 15 or 20. It depends on which the master apical file you are choosing, depending on the size of the canal. It is very constricted or very thin, you have to go start with the 6 number file, or you can start with 10 number, or you can start with 15 number. Use of intermediate size of file, which is very common. Nowadays, all intermediate size files are available in the market by different companies. So you can use intermediate size file, and you can use a flexible files, that is NiTi files. Intermediate size files are available from Endostar. It is available with other companies also. It is available for money also. You can use as flexible files. You can use glide paths, and a specially designed file for tackle the curves to prevent the ledge is available from Fenta. This is AFCL file, which is specially designed for correcting the ledge canals. You can have this is a pre-curved file. You can use it manual or rotary, everything. Both ways you can use it. Pre-curved is already been done, and you can use this file. Why these unique size files are used? What are the advantage and why it is been used? What is the requirement for this file? Suppose if one increment of file is clipped from 10 number size, the instrument becomes 12 size, because 1 mm of the size is clipped, 25 becomes 27, and so on. Because once you clip this file or you cut this file and you blunt the file, the forces on this has been reduced. So you can go up to the apical area. But this 1 mm cutting is not advisable in a very curved canal or extremely curved canal or a very sclerotic canals, because it is much more 1 mm. So in that case, is full 1 millimeter to widen the instrument by 0.2 mm is too great. So to go up to this area, only 0.5 mm increment are trimmed as compared to 1 mm increment, right? So this instrument will 0.1 mm, the size 11 will become 10 will become 11, and 15 number will become 16, and so forth. So these are used in a very tortuous cord canal or a sclerotic canals. So the decrease in the length of the actively cutting file is achieved by the following. That is anti-curvature filing. That is, the file should be used in the anti-curvature mode. That is not towards the percussion area. Modifying the cutting edge of the instrument by dulling the flute on which side? Dulling the flute of this area, that is on the outer side of this file, and the inner side danger zone, that is on this area. So you dull the cutting edges, and then can be done with a diamond file, and then you can use the file. So it will have a less stress on this area. And changing the canal preparation techniques, that is the crown down technique as compared to a step back technique. So that can be done with precautions, and there are no areas where you can have complications related with percussion stripping, stick perforations, ledge formations, all this, right? So you can see, I will show you a diagram when a reamer, this is a reamer, when you put in this type of canal, when you remove it, you will find this type of shape. This will give this type of impression. If you put it like this, it is a C-shaped canal. It will be like this. If you put a file, it will be difficult to go inside in the initial instrument. This is a J-shaped of canal. This is a merging canal. This is the larger canal, and this is the canal where it is merging, right? This is the merging part. So this, in this area, this part has to be prepared first, and then you have to prepare this up to this merging area. So these are the different tooth models of curvatures which has been prepared in our academy by the participant. You can see the canal are obturated. The diagrams are curved canals with merging canals, S shape, everything is meant. You can see different types of. I will show you some of the few cases. So what do you see in this? And what do you see in this case? Both the cases, this is obturation has been done, but you feel that the distal canal, it is short. This was done way back in, I think, 10 to 15 years back. I have a follow-up of this case. The patient is fine. Do you require a retreatment in this type of case or a retreatment in this part? Always try to have a follow-up of this patient and try to do check it, because it doesn't mean that the anatomy, because we had done it properly, we have to have a follow-up of this case, because there is no puff. That doesn't mean that the root canal is not done properly. In this case, this is a case 7 to 8 years before, which has been done. You can see the puff are there, right? Puff is nothing, and it is just an extrusion of an sealers which you are using. The obturating, that is the obturating part, that is the gatapacha, the master conduit always lie at the apical part where the matrix end. It doesn't go beyond the apex, and it doesn't go like this. That gatapacha doesn't come like this as a puff. So always have to be careful. So not tough. All of us can do a great thing, but we can do small things with great love. So endodontics and management of curvatures is always try to do slowly and very carefully. This is the diagram. You can see the mesially there is a curvature. They are merging, apically they are merging together. You can see. The next case, you can see they are merging in together, and you can see the merging and then again separating in the apical area with two parts. That is one going mesially and one going distally. So what people thinks, how people think that life of an endodontist, this is a file going like this. It is not like this. It is like this. It will come to know when you do a case of molar endodontics, right? It is a glamorous branch, but you require so much of patience. Dr. Anu, who has completed his master's, she must be knowing that the life of an endodontist, it is not very straightforward, right? So always be careful in tricking this tortuous canals. One more case you can see 8 curvature in the mesial part. This is the case that is a wisdom tooth. This is with a file. Then the case with obturation. One case where there are 4 canals. That is pre-op. Then this is with working, that's file, master code, and this is a post-operative case. This is a case which I showed previously, that there is an instrument which was, you have to try to bypass this instrument or to remove the instrument. So whenever you try to separate this instrument, the instrument is separated. If you cannot bypass, you have to remove this instrument. But bypassing or separating the instrument, you dig the canal more, you will lose the secondary dentin inside the canal and ultimately will lead to failure or complications. So this is the pre-op separated file. We have tried to bypass the instrument properly. The instrument has been bypassed. This is with the master code. And this is with the obturation. The instrument is there without any problem to the patient which has bypassed and the obturation is done properly. We have a follow-up this instrument. Before 5 years it was done and the patient is fine. No problem at all. So if you cannot remove the separated instrument, you can bypass the instrument. This is a case of a merged canal. You can see this is a larger canal and this is the canal where it is merging. So try to obturate the largest canal first. This is the large canal which has been prepared, and you obturate this canal first and then you obturate the merging canal, which is second. This is a pre-op. This is a case with the working length with file, and you can see the canal is merging in the mesial aspect. So I like to discuss this case which was done by my postgraduate because it cost 3 to 3.5 hours to negotiate this distal canal. 3.5 hours, more than 3.5 hours. My PG, and we tried to negotiate, and lastly I tried to negotiate this canal because you can see a 90-degree curvatures. We had planned for an episectomy in this, but it was very difficult because of wisdom tooth. But lastly we tried to negotiate it properly, and this is a thermoplastic gutta percha has been done in this case. So these are the different clinical cases which has been done in my clinic. And the last case which I want to show, the case which is done in 1997. That is more than 20 years, 22 years. A case of taurodontism. This was a case in 1997, which the year which was I was doing my post-graduation. So this is the case. That day, that time we didn't have a rubber dam, we didn't have apex locator, no thermoplastic gutta percha, nothing was there, and we had done this case. A case of taurodontism. We tried to obturate. This is the must file case with the must file. This is the X-ray which has been taken. The photographs of this X-ray should be taken while we have to call the cameraman from the studio. They used to come because digital camera was not available. The studio people used to come to the college. They used to take the pre or post of photograph. We used to give the X-ray, then you take the X-rays. This roll-on technique has been done in this case. That is, multiple gutta percha was used to prepare a master cone, and it was condensed with a lateral condensation technique. These are the two openings which has not been seen because this is very old X-ray, but there are two openings. One is on medial and one on the distal side, and this case was done. So I love this case because without any newer technology and instrument, this case was done thoroughly and properly. So what do you think? When you marry Priya, you get this stuff. When you marry Fatima, you get this stuff. But when you marry Janu, Shona, Babu, Chiku, you get burn braids. So dentistry or endodontics is a branch, or the management of tortuous canal or the curved canal is very difficult. So try to use a proper gadgets, newer gadgets. Try to combine all the methods, the technology. But if you have all this technology, and if you don't have the anatomical aspect of it, if you don't have the knowledge to do it, this technology doesn't matter at all, right? So always try to do it. So now onwards, stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being excited about what will be right. You can directly start doing, negotiate the torches canal. I'm thankful to my wife and my kid. Without this, it is not possible. These are some dignitary, and all the endodontists or the will be knowing who are all they. Yoshi, Cliff Ruddle, Dr. Cohen. Then this is a inventor of greater paper files, Mukana. This is Gulabiwala. These are different photographs which I had given demonstrations in various conferences, awards. So with this, we complete, but still everyone is waiting for the takeaway home points, right? So what are the takeaway home points? I will complete with this takeaway home points. So first is, don't attempt any root canal treatment or root canal therapy without any understanding the knowledge of anatomy of both the pulp chamber and the root canal system. If you don't know the root canal system, if you don't know the anatomy, don't try to do an root canal in a tortuous canal, and try to contact your endodontist. You also, Dr. Anu, always tell your friends to contact you for management of the curved canals. Always try to hire an endodontist. The primary objective of cleaning and shaping is what? Whatever it matters, you have to go at the end of the root canal. That is, at the end of the root canal, you have to reach up to the root canals by any means. If you are not able to reach up to the root canal apex, you will have failures in your root canals. The first instrument must be used with great care. Why with great care? We had discussed before also, because that is the instrument which will help you to give the shape of the anatomy, the curvatures which is there, and you will be able to follow the instrumentation, the next step which you are going to follow. All instruments should be kept sterile throughout the procedure or through the instrumentation. So without irrigation and sterile protocol, never use the instrument in a dry canal, because it will always lead to stiffness of the instrument, there will be stress on the instrument, and it will be a failure of the instrument, as well as it will lead to complications in the root canal. The first instrument, always remember, the first instrument is not your working length instrument, is not a working instrument. The first instruments or the reamer which you are using is your master apical file, which you will be using, and that instrument is to give an idea where the canal or where the apex lie. So don't use this instrument as a preparation instrument. First instrument is not to be placed and not to be rotated. We had already discussed, because if you rotate the first instrument in the apical area, what happens is you will disturb the apical matrix, and there are chances of apical perforation, and you will not be able to bind the gataparcha, that is in the apical area, properly. So always be careful. The first instrument is your extension of the dentist finger. As always said, the dentistry is an art and science. So that art is in our fingers, right? Always, whatever the carving we do, whatever the anatomy which will be do, or we instrument the canal, that is the hand instrument. So always the hand instrumentation is the first protocol. Then only you touch the rotary instruments, because the company will always say you use a glide path file with a rotary instrument, and directly you can reach up to the apex. But always try to do with the hand files, the master your apical area, and give a glide path with your hand files and your hand, which you have in your hand. That is the art, and then only you can proceed. The first instrument is to explore the root canal, as already discussed. Only after it has created enough space of the first instrument. That is, when you prepare the first instrument, suppose your first instrument is a 15 number. If you had prepared the canal properly with the first instrument, that is a 15 number, when the instrument is loose enough, then only you remove that instrument, and then you go with the next instrument, that is a 20 number. Otherwise, don't use it. If you are not able to fill the instrument inside the canal very freely, the 15 number, remove the 15 number file, and then you use a 10 number file to recapitulate the apical area. That is, recapitulate, and again you use the 15 number. Once it is loose, then only go with the next instrument. Shaping errors are what? always trying to shape coronally more and undershaping, that is at the apical area less. So that is a reverse of it. So always try to have a funnel shape opening. That is the coronal should be wide. That is in crown down. It is the coronal. It is wide and apical it is thin. That is in the apex is merging. So always try to do that. Never remove the file until it is loose. That is the greatest secrets of endodontics. And lastly, one must never use file of larger diameter in the curvature. As we had discussed, because of the undue stress, it will cause perforation, ledge formations, and all the failure of this. Next is never drill it. Don't try to drill with the file. And endodontic is the gauge fail many times, and the beginner has chances of perforation or I can miss the canal. So, and always try to be precautious. I like to thank always because they had helped me. My wife, Dr. Anmol Bagaria, Sinodent, Dr. Anu Vasist, I had not mentioned her name, Dr. Mayu, Dr. Ankit, Dr. Jatin, Dr. Anjali, Dr. Chanchal, excellent, my college, my department, my pages, and Sakarchand Patel University. Thank you, all of you. Any questions can be taken off. And these are my contact details. These are my email, my phone number. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us. And root canal complexities, they pose challenge to all of us. And your tips and protocols will definitely help us. So, and we have so many questions also. So actually, most of the participants, they want to know what should be the irrigation protocols when we are dealing with severe curvatures.
Irrigation protocol. It depends on what irrigation system you are using. There are negative pressure, positive pressure techniques, right? But the protocol is sodium hypochlorite. The most of the time, what you give in a irrigation technique is you should be giving time more than 20 to 30 minutes for irrigation. That is, at the first visit, you can do an access opening. You can negotiate the canal, prepare it properly, give a dressing. In the next sitting, you can do an irrigation protocol with a rubber dam, and then you can do an obturation. For all the cases, you cannot do a single sitting root canal, right? It depends on the cases. But if a single sitting root canal in a straight canal, it is vital, okay, and you can do an obturation at the same part also. But obturation, irrigation, that is, the technique should be right. The side vented needles, so many different techniques and so many different irrigation devices are available. You can use that in the market. If you don't have the irrigation devices, the simple thing is you can use a side vented needle. You can pour that will irrigate the canal, and you can activate with gutta percha. You can take a gutta percha point, you can activate by pushing to and fro inside the canal, or you can use an ultrasonic tips which are available in the market that you can use it, and you can have the irrigating protocols can be done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, what is your take on these Truanatomy files that are being introduced? Can they be utilized for curvatures also?
Truanatomy files has been used in a curved canals, but there are no more studies which has been conducted, because in India, I think there are less numbers of clinicians using Truanatomy file. The study has not been performed still yet. So I cannot give, because once the studies are there, I can give an idea that the Truanatomy file is feasible in all the cases of tortuous canal or not. But in that also cases, but previously, that is, firstly, you have to use a manual technique starting from 6, 8, 10 number. Once you go with the manual technique, you go up to the apical area, you negotiate it properly, then onwards you can use a Truanatomy file or whatever file system you can take on.
Sir, one of the participants wanted to ask that she's practicing with loops and wanted to shift on microscope. So, which is economical? So, what would you suggest?
Economical microscope, if you want to go, there are so many companies in India. Indian-made microscope, that is Labomed, Shanma. So many microscopes available. It depends on what is your cost, how much you want to spend. Loops, you are acquainted with the loops. You can directly shift to microscope, but you have to contact with the companies that is ranging from 2.5 to 10 lakhs. If a higher range, if you want to go, it starts from 8.5 to 15 lakhs to 20 lakhs. It depends on the type of microscope and magnifications, right?
Yes. Thank you, sir. Sir, actually, if somebody is practicing in an area where CBCT is not available, so what other methods are there to determine the curvature?
Determine the curvature. Simple method is you can use a simple one instrument, that is initial instrument, either it is in a 10 number or 8 number reamer. You can take a reamer, put inside the canal, take an X-ray. X-ray can be taken anywhere, right? You can take a working length X-ray. You remove the reamer, you can get an idea of the morphology and the curvature which has been going. You mark the point at the rubber stop, either on the buccal or on the lingual surface. So we'll get an idea that the curvature is either on the buccal side or on the lingual side. Because all these manual techniques are very helpful. CBCT, it is at the last stage. If you don't have the other methods, and if you are not able to perform the basic methods, you are not able to find any curvatures properly, are not able to negotiate it properly, then only you can go to the CBCT methods. So basic methods are hand methods only. You can do it with that. RVG can also help. X-rays can help, manual techniques can help.
Thank you, sir. And sir, which obturation technique would you suggest for curved canals?
All techniques are feasible, but obturation, downpack, backfill technique is more feasible. That is downpack and backfill, right? Because downpack, you can select the master cone which has been selected, and you can put that master cone, condense it properly, and the rest of the canal can be filled with the backfill equipment, which is the gun which is been having. And a lot of companies are having so many different types of system available in the market.
Thank you, sir. I would like to invite Anmol to make a conclusion statement for us.
Good evening, everyone who are present here from India and all parts of the globe. Good evening, sir. Good morning, sir. I would like to thank you for giving us your valuable time and joining us and giving us such an informative lecture. We all practitioners deal with this problem, and this is the basic problem which we all deal with. And this information will help all the practitioners present over here today, and will help in improving their practices also. So it was an honor having you here, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us today. I'd also thank Dr. Anu and Tony for hosting the session, and each and every one of my team Cynodent for playing a supportive role. And also I would like to inform, if people who have not or who have missed the live session, we'll be uploading the complete video on the pages, so you can again go through the complete session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.